Hey guys, I'm here. Welcome back for episode 3 of the final season of Superman and Lois. One thing before we jump into this that I want to kind of come back around on, when I was talking about the heart that Lex crushed. You know, I was talking about there's no way it could be Clark's heart or anything like that. How could he even crush it? You know, they may also made a very pointed statement earlier in the episode that he's just keeps coming up with kryptonite. I mean, for all we know, maybe he injected it with some, maybe he's got some kryptonite-laced shoes. There's a lot of other ways that he could come up with that could allow him to destroy that. I still don't think he would do that. I do not think he would destroy that big of a trophy just to kind of do what he was trying to do in that moment. But that's just me. We'll see what happens though. But with that said, let's go ahead and hop in. If you want to see the full-length reaction, as always, you can check it out over on Patreon, or if you become a member of the channel, gives you access as well. It is a watch-along format, so you will need your own footage to sync up the time codes for actually the entire episode. Over there, you get the same thing for all the other shows and movies that we cover on the channel. You also can suggest and vote what movies to react to each month. It's just a great way to support the channel and helps do the things we do over here. But at the end of the day, I really appreciate if you enjoy this reaction. To at least leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe if you're not already, because it really helps these videos out. With that all said and out of the way, let's go ahead and hop into episode 3. Oh, I mean, I guess that makes sense.
Can you ever truly explain how much a person meant to you?
Not always.
Is it even possible? All the love that you felt? All the memories you shared? As much as I might try, I don't think words will ever be enough.
What an open man.
World without Superman. Never thought I'd see the day. With that monster still out there and Luthor pulling his strings, we don't have much time.
Got a fallback plan?
John Henry
No.
Irons and his daughter Natalie.
I mean, I get it. In this world, that's the best you have to fall back on, but let's be real. There is nothing those two can do against this thing.
Serum Bruno Mannheim made to save his wife. It brought the other Superman back to life. You acquired some, correct?
Yes.
I need it.
Does this have anything to do with Luthor's monster?
Not sure you've earned the privilege.
How many times are we going to discuss this, Sam?
It was a breach of trust.
We needed a sample of Superman's blood in order to save his life.
And you didn't tell me.
You were in the hospital.
I still should have known. I was his handler.
You know, there was a time when you trusted the DOD more than Superman.
Well, it's before some other information came out.
Sorry to keep you waiting, Pumpkin. Ever since that alien showed up, things around here have been rowdier than a $10 rodeo.
Well, actually, sir, that's why we're here.
I'm glad that, like, we're finding our way to keep him around, man.
There's something Clark and I want to tell you about Superman.
We feel obligated to share, really.
Is this how he found out the day
find out where
he
he's
found
from?
out?
You're never gonna believe it. Smallville.
Smallville? Isn't that where you grew up?
Wow,
Yes,
funny about
sir,
that.
It is.
We know why he's not the
Did you know
reporter.
You could say that.
Something I'm not getting here.
Yeah.
Sir, I'm him. Superman. I'm me. We're the same person.
Come on.
Okay,
I swear to God. I was gonna say, if he just takes off his glasses and that's it, that would fucking make my day. You're fucking kidding me. Let's go. If that please be it. %100%, 10,000%, the best Superman thing ever.
Probably damn.
I can't believe they did that with a straight face. They made the fucking lens flare and everything. Oh my God. That was amazing.
You published the article about Dad dying?
About Superman dying. The world needs to know. People have to understand that Superman won't be there to save them anymore.
Yeah, well, he would be if someone had listened.
Oh my God.
Jonathan.
No, it's true.
Jonathan.
I mean, just because it's true doesn't mean you need to say it. Because I think everybody knows.
Dude, I was just trying to save him. I'm so sorry.
I know, all right.
Look, you have to forgive me.
Just leave, please.
You have to forgive me.
Please,
I was just...
please, will you just shut up for once in your stupid life? I'm so sick of your crap. Ever since you got powers, all you've done is bitch about how hard everything is. And you keep saying that you're trying to do what's right, but you never do. You weren't trying to save Dad. You were trying to be a hero, and now Dad's dead. My dad is dead, and I never get to see him again.
Wow. Oh. Dude, I love this following that conversation on the deck where he's talking about how do you just hold this all together, and he just doesn't. He just buries it all. Oh! Whoa! Whoa! No fucking way! Yo! Power Bros! He just needed a little bit of that Saiyan jumpstart. He needed a little bit of that emotion to kick in. Let's fucking go!
You got powers.
Maybe that's part of it. Jordan's always been extremely sensitive. So maybe he was just more connected, even if like he had his own issues that kind of got in the way of that. Wow.
Metropolis.
Oh.
New Carthage. San Francisco.
And like you said, he's the athlete,
Okay, you can fly.
so like he
Do you
would
need
get
anything
have a better handle on all of
pretty
these
much
things.
everything
Like we've
back.
talked about that
That's
before too.
Well, I've done heat vision and
Wow.
ice breath, plus I'm like 1,000 times stronger. Oh, and I even heard Mr. Cushing getting Chrissy some new car. Sounded like a minivan.
For his sake, I hope not.
Well, thank God John got powers, right? We can all rest easy now.
Jordan.
What's your problem?
I'm just saying what everyone's thinking.
Now there's nothing special about him anymore, which is the big old sucky thing, you know, if this were to play out. Also, Jonathan not being able to find his use beyond having powers.
With Dad not around, maybe this happened for a reason.
If you're implying this is destiny somehow,
I'm not trying to scare you. I just want to help.
I honestly didn't think he was ever going to get powers, and I kind of just settled into being completely okay with that. Now I don't know how to feel. I mean, it was mind-blowing and mind-bending in the moment, but now I'm just like, well, what does this mean? What does this mean for their character arcs and stuff? You know, I mean, he now doesn't have to feel like he's on the sidelines anymore, but now it takes away a little bit from what makes Jordan kind of special, other than just what makes them them at the end of the day. You know, I was hoping that one of them could follow in like Lois's path and find strength in just being human and not having to rely on powers, but now they both have powers. So what now?
Last time we didn't get to fight to save our world.
But then kill Superman.
But if we can't stop it, who can?
The Arrowverse doesn't need its Superman anymore. We can kill him and take his heart and put it in our Clark's heart chest hole thing cavity and plug it in like a new battery. They didn't give a shit about him anyway.
there's something I have to tell you about Jonathan. He got powers.
Which ones?
All of them.
If this doesn't feel like destiny wrapping its hairy knuckles on the front door. Kid's a born leader. Even been trained to be a fireman. What's John got to say about it?
He just wants to help.
Look,
As he
if you bring
does.
John into the DOD, we can get him geared up, train him, build a team for him. I didn't tell you when I was training Jordan. I won't do that again. You're his mother. Whatever choice you make, I promise I'll respect that.
Where was Jordan's team when this was all going on?
You finally ready to talk about working for the DOD?
Actually, I'm still thinking that over.
And why are you here?
I'd like to formally ask you for Lois's hand in marriage.
Damn it, son. That's a terrible idea.
What?
I'm in love with your daughter. I want to spend the rest of my life with her.
Then you need to remedy that, because married life isn't in the cards for you.
General.
You and I are this world's last line of defense.
Okay, yeah. Figured that's where this was going to go. Or should have figured, rather.
I would do anything to protect Lois.
As would I.
If that were true, you'd walk away. Lois doesn't deserve this kind of life. She went through hell already with her mother.
I will never leave her.
Not intentionally, but you don't know what's out there. The evil that's coming for you. You may not have faced much of a threat yet, but believe me, you will. And when that day comes, the worst case scenario happens. She's the one who's gonna feel that pain for the rest of her life.
Wow.
I came here to ask for your blessing, but I want to be clear. I do intend to marry your daughter.
Then why even bother asking?
Formality.
Because I'd like for you to be a part of our family.
No. I love you, Clark.
You do what you have to, son. You know where I stand.
Wow. Dude, I could not help but see that overhead shot and not expect the Flash to be running around. That's immediately where my brain went. Is he super sniffing the fruit?
How things look, how they sound, how they smell, it's so intense.
Careful, that one
He
can backfire on
is.
you. Your father hated Limburger cheese.
Aw. And smelling you too. We learned about that. Living in a house with 2 teenage boys.
What did Grandpa say?
There was never any doubt. He's always had a soft spot for you.
Probably because of football.
It's more than that.
What do you think?
Oh no. This is going to make that choice even harder if it comes out what she selected on that phone call. No, there's at least an argument that can be made if she chose Jonathan that he doesn't have powers. He needs more protection. But now that he doesn't, and it can just completely skew that perception.
If I can save one family from losing someone they love like we lost Dad, then I have to.
Aww.
Okay.
Really?
I'll tell your grandfather we're coming. Go get your stuff.
Okay.
What about Jordan?
Man, I'm really sorry about what I said before. I didn't mean it. Yeah, you did. Amen. Have fun at the DOD. I thought one of the rules of having super hearing was that we don't eavesdrop on each other.
Yeah, about that.
Easier said than done.
Yeah, it's not just as easy as turning off your ears when you can hear the whole world.
You sure you don't want to come? Nah, man. Good luck.
God damn it, man. Oh, fuck you. Oh no. Is this where the phone call comes out?
What do you want?
There's something you need to hear.
Oh no. Yep, there it is.
I'm good.
You think she has a favorite?
Fuck.
My guess is she likes to say she loves you both the same.
Look, whatever you're trying to do.
I told you, your mother's a liar. Hear for yourself.
Your sons are in danger. If you want Jordan to live, press 1. If you want Jonathan to live, press 2. You have 10 seconds to choose.
What is this?
The other day when you were at the shipyard, your mom got this call.
John wasn't even in trouble.
3,
Listen.
2, 1. You have chosen Jonathan. He's a good boy and your favorite son.
Oh, you dickbag. What the fuck is that? You had to add that flavor text in.
That isn't real.
Ask her yourself. You'll know if she's telling the truth.
Again, like I said, at the time, there's the benefit of being like, Jonathan doesn't have powers. He needs more protection. Jordan has powers. Whatever, you know, it's... but shit, this insecurity's always been there. It doesn't matter how much you rationalize it. Hearing it still isn't going to be easy. Fuck Lex, man.
Has General Lane mentioned anything to you about Bruno Mannheim's serum?
Please tell me the DOD isn't trying to use it.
We're not, but I think General Lane might be.
For what?
Oh, wow.
He wants to make his own monster to fight Luthor's.
I worry if someone doesn't stop playing now, we're gonna have two of those things to deal with.
Is he planning on shooting himself up?
Doesn't feel fair to Lois.
Well, maybe not, but you said it yourself. She and her father would.
No.
You're going to be a great husband and a terrific father. And if the general can't see that, that's on him.
Let's say this all as loud as possible.
That's what I'm here for, honey.
No.
General Lane should be in his office.
Mom?
I know where it is. Thank you. Hey.
We're gonna do that here.
Did you really choose John?
Jordan, it's not what you think.
Both your sons are in danger. You can only choose one, and you chose your favorite.
What's he talking about?
Honey, there was no time. I did not know what was happening, and you were the one with powers.
Luthor knew I had powers. He wasn't even.
That is
so
true.
I was the one being attacked.
I didn't know that.
Would it have even mattered?
Of course it would have. I have always loved you both the same.
You said you'd say that.
Lex Luthor is a liar.
And you're not. He sent him to prison for a crime he didn't even commit.
Don't you ever say that to me again. Not ever. That man killed your father. Jordan, you need to understand Lex Luthor is using you to hurt me.
Because I'm so weak.
Jordan.
God damn it, Lex Luthor, you son of a bitch.
Lois, is that you? Jones. Sorry, General.
I know my daughter came to see you, General. Now you're gonna tell me where to find her.
Like hell I am.
Wow.
My word.
Either you give me Elizabeth now, or I can send something that doesn't need a gun.
Didn't say anything about that. So sorry, sir.
Wow. Oh, he's gonna juice up. E. All right, well, here it comes.
Wait, God, what happened?
What did you do? Go tell everyone to get the hell out of here. Luthor's sending that thing for me. Go. Give these to Lois. Sam, you need to stop it. And then you need to promise me you'll do exactly what I say.
You need to evacuate now.
You ready, Bug?
We got this, Dad.
Wow.
Split formation. Use all the yellow solar flares. All of them at once. Don't hold back.
3 seconds. 2 seconds. 1 second.
They said they used yellow sun flares, right? I mean, that would have worked on Bizarro Superman, but we know that doesn't work on this thing. Oh no. Well, at least he sent them flying. I thought he just like flexed on them, dude.
It's okay. It's okay. You gotta trust me.
Oh, wow.
I can't convince you to walk away, can I?
Dad, I am literally about to exchange my vows.
I'm just saying. You fell in love with Clark Kent, but you're marrying Superman.
And they both make me happier than I have ever been. Please, Dad, trust me. Trust in us.
Okay, Pumpkin. I trust you. I still have reservations. I will for a long time.
Fair enough.
But I see how much you love him. I know how much he loves you. So yeah. Yes. You have my blessing.
Thanks, Daddy.
I guess it's time.
We're about to lose Sam, aren't we?
I know how scary this is for you, but it means the world to me.
I'll always be brave for you, Pumpkin. Always. You know my answer, Luthor.
Tell me where Elizabeth is.
I promised to protect her. I promised her I'd be brave.
Last chance, General.
Stand down.
Eddie, what are you doing?
You're gonna be okay, Pumpkin.
Do it!
Wow. Just like that.
I need to take Sam's body. It's what he wanted. Just go back to the farm. That'll explain everything.
Oh. Wait. Oh. 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 Oh.
I need your help. We don't have much time.
Because his heart is Kryptonian as long as that shot's in him. They're going to try to use Sam's heart.
What's going on?
So they can both protect him. So they can both protect their family.
Sorry, sweetie, but your grandfather.
That thing killed him.
Fuck.
He died protecting us.
Actually, it was more than that.
I'm gonna use General Lane's heart to bring back Superman.
But his heart will not suffice. It's from a human.
Lane injected himself with a serum containing Superman's blood.
I fear that is not the same.
It is the closest we're gonna get. Help me before the serum wears off.
I don't understand. Why did he have to use his own heart?
Grandpa was searching for a donor, but after he got shot, there wasn't any time. Nobody else knew about the plan, so it had to be him.
So when he went outside, he knew what was going to happen.
How do we know if it'll even work?
Grandpa says we have to have hope.
The new heart is being prepared for transfer.
How long will it take?
The procedure itself is not long, but if Kal is to return, it will take many days. And even then, I have concerns.
There is one more thing. He made this for you. Right before.
Sorry to be so rushed here, but looks like my time's about to run out. And before that happens, I wanted to tell you, you're the best thing that ever happened to me. I was closed off and set in my ways, and you and Clark, you insisted on making me part of your family. And that has been the greatest joy of my life. Those boys and that, I can't put into words how much I love them. And you have always been my North Star. You made me a better man. You made me a dad. I'm so proud to be your father. Clark, he once told me he'd always be there for you, and I didn't get it then. I do now. He's gonna come back. Once they get my heart inside him, I'll be there too. For every beat. Every single beat.
Be right there.
I guess, I love you, Pumpkin. More than you could possibly know.
I love you. Can you ever truly explain how much a person meant to you? Is that even possible?
Oh, that's who this was for.
As much as I may try, I don't think words will ever be enough. But I do know there is no one else in the world I would have wanted as my dad. You were always my hero.
So I'm sure that at least by doing what they were doing too, if the serum itself, I'll talk about it here in a second. Damn, there it is. Oh, an ending with the heart beating again. Wow. My God, dude, I am like struggling right now. Like everything Sam's ever done, as harsh or as rash or as unfeeling as it may have felt, everything was always for the greater good of Lois's safety, even to the point where her safety took priority over like her happiness. you know, and that's what he was trying to do with Clark, because he knows, because like at the end of the day, you know, the world needs him as a general. He's got to be out there protecting this country. Superman's got to be out there protecting this world, and at any time they could come across something they're not going to come home from, and at the end of the day, all that's going to do is hurt her. So they have to be this barrier, this shield between these things. But by doing that, you're denying her any kind of happiness in the moment. Sure, he's been keeping her safe, he's been keeping the world safe, but he's been denying her a father this entire time. That relationship that has been strained all these years, that's time he's never going to get back. And it's only after experiencing all of this growth and love between Lois and Clark that he's ever been able to kind of warm up and come back from that, because they want him there. Clark wants him there. Clark was part of a family growing up, and he wants his kids to be part of a family, and that includes Sam. So, you know, at the end of the day too, like, and I think Clark understood that, and that's what eventually rubbed off onto Sam throughout his years of working together. It's why they always kind of butted heads. They were coming at all of these problems with different solutions, different angles. It took a long time for Sam to no longer be stuck in his ways. To do this, you know, when all things are said and done, and all our options are kind of off the table, except for a very small few, and maybe one that's just a shot in the dark, so they thought, with this serum that has our Superman's blood incorporated into it. That's what they used to infuse with the X-Kryptonite and all that other junk. They mixed it with Superman's blood, gave it to Bizarro, and it mutated him into what he is. You know, with that blood coursing through his own heart, it has Clark's blood in it, in essence. So like what I was going to get at there before we were coming in on that closing shot was that as long as that serum is processing, as long as that is still in his bloodstream, that blood is circulating through that heart. You know, our bodies reproduce our own blood cells and all that kind of stuff as we utilize and burn that energy as it carries through our body and whatever. We recycle our blood through and through and through and through. So as long as that's still in there and we get it into Clark's body, it's going to cycle his own blood through it, not human blood or anything like that. And it'll be Kryptonian, it'll be Clark enough, hopefully long enough, to be able to go through the transplant process. By doing that, he's sacrificing himself to bring back not just Superman into the world, you know, the only hope that this planet has for a protector right now. You know, as much as we put it on Jordan or Jonathan or John or Natalie, none of them hold a candle to Superman right now in this world. It's a long shot at best at hoping that they could even stave off this thing at all. I mean, hell, we saw Nat and John try. They did jack all to stop him from coming in and killing Sam. Not only giving his life to save Clark, to bring Superman back into the world, but to bring back the protector of his daughter, her husband, the father of his grandchildren, in a way that also will have him fighting on alongside them forever. You know, when he was talking about, you know, the bleak reality is like, hey, maybe someday you'll fight something that'll take you away from her and then you just leave her alone. He's like, no, that'll never happen. I'll always be there. And this is the moment where he chose to believe in that statement. He chose to hope that by doing this, Clark would indeed be right. He would prove him right. He gave himself over, literally abandoning his own train of thought and ideals to instill his trust into Clark's point of view. It's like, if he's really always going to be there, then this has to work. And by doing so, a part of me will always be a part of him. And we both together will always be there protecting Lois. Oh, it's such a beautiful way to kind of put like a capstone on his character and his journey, while also quite literally keeping his heart always with them. That's got to be a really hard thing to kind of wrestle with when Clark does wake up, you know, realizing that that's Sam's heart in there, that sacrifice was made to bring him back. There's going to be an even more intense weight on top of his shoulders when he comes back with that realization too. And I'm wondering how they're going to tackle that. I'm glad that we didn't have to wait too long for that phone call to come up, but it does give me kind of hope that maybe it's not going to sway things as strongly as it seemed like it may have, or at least that I kind of built up in my head that it was going to, this big master play to turn the brothers upon one another or upon their own family. You know, I don't know, like the conversation they had in the hallway, it felt like we had a way through that. I'm sure there's going to be some lingering effects of that. I don't think we're done with it, but it didn't have the impact I thought it was going to, which is good, because Lex needs to stop winning. He needs to stop hurting this family. And I'm glad that at least by taking Sam out, he didn't get his daughter's location, and he may have even led to getting Clark back. He may have been the catalyst towards getting Superman back, though he does not know that yet. You know, had he not done that in this moment, you know, that would have been maybe a longer ways off, because like he said, he was trying to find other candidates or, you know, applicable candidates that would be in there. But because he got shot and there was a ticking clock on the way with that creature being sent to head them off, he had to make a judgment call, and he chose himself. Thematically, though, beautiful way to kind of bring all that back around, though, into this character, especially considering our supporting cast has limited screen time this season. And well, we've got all of Sam's, which is a great way to say goodbye to this character. It was so beautiful, so moving, and the way they coupled that with the flashbacks. We're getting to see Martha as well and actually get to have some conversations between her and Clark, which was nice, even if they were loudly talking in the middle of that room. Like, he was so far away in a crowded house with everybody talking, and like you could hear that conversation clear as day, almost as if it was intentional. And then obviously, to complicate matters further, Jonathan now has powers. You know, in an act of selflessness, when Jordan awoke in when he thrust himself over top of his brother to protect him in that moment, you know, that's when his activated. And now in another, you know, surge of emotion, of helplessness, he activated his. It's almost like the two ways that Goku and Vegeta each activated their Super Saiyan. Like I mentioned earlier on, it seemed to have been rooted in some kind of a need or emotional catalyst that was required to access it. Like Jonathan was just breaking down, finally hitting a breaking point with Jordan's rashness and just going out there and doing what he did recklessly and being the reason, even if he doesn't want to blame him, he knows deep in his heart that, and they both do, is that no matter how you look at it, Jordan did make that call and go out there on his own, unprepared. So yeah, he was rightfully so, like coming back to that conversation on the deck where he's like, hey man, I don't understand it. How do you always stay calm? How do you keep your heart rate down all the time? How are you going through this? It's like, I just don't worry about it. I just got to keep looking on what's coming, or whatever the fuck he said. And this is the one time he just couldn't anymore. And when he finally let himself rage and just buckle under all of these emotions, the helplessness of it, the bleak nature of losing their father and being mad at his brother and being mad at himself for not being able to do anything in the wake of all of this. And he just bam, broke his hand and then freaked out. And then in that moment, his senses just fucking started firing off. The Kryptonian ship started to recognize him, opened up, his bones crackled back into place, healing, and he's got a handle on his powers much quicker than Jordan did. And that's something that they talked about before, him being the natural athlete. It would have made the most sense if he got the powers, because he knows how to work his body. He knows how to be disciplined and all these different things. That's his thing, you know, and that's a conversation they've had. It's a conversation we've had. But now it just throws into question Jordan's role in all of this. Now what makes Jordan special is no longer just something that is only attributed to him, as something now he's also sharing with his brother. How is that going to further exacerbate things, if it will? And because Jordan now is just like, hey, Sam Lane's first instinct was to be like, oh shit, let's get him in here. Let's get him a team. Let's get him training. You know, I know I tried to do Jordan's thing behind your back, but like he didn't offer him all this other shit. Like, it's just he's always had this favoritism, which plays into the phone call, because it's like this underlying thing where Jordan's been this burden because of his mental health issues and all these other things, and you know, and then getting these powers and then not knowing what to do with them and then messing up, and then Jordan in his mind has always just been the perfect son, and it just fucks with everything. And again, like I was talking about, my hope was always that because Lois always has to find her agency in the story just being a regular human. And I was hoping for that same thing to happen with Jonathan. You know, they teased and played around with the idea of him apprenticing with John and learning how to utilize tech and work on machines and stuff like that. And then they dropped that altogether for whatever reason. It was always like I was hoping he would find a way to contribute without needing powers, whether it be through tech or maybe even like some investigative kind of thing, or like, you know, what he was doing with Kyle and like helping out with the firehouse and stuff like that, you know, finding other ways to contribute to the society that didn't require him being another Superman or a Superboy of sorts. So they could each have their own thing and kind of highlight and accentuate that you can do good without being super, you know? But Clark woke up at the end of the episode. Transplant seems to have worked, but like his mother said, it might take a couple of days before he can get up and be out and about. So how long is that going to go? No, Luthor's got another wrench thrown in the gears of his machine as he's trying to find his daughter still. So I'm sure that's still going to come to a head at some point. They keep bringing up he's going to find her, but how is the question? Or if after hearing about Sam's passing after all of this, maybe she'll just show herself. Be brave, as Sam said in his final moments. But my God, what an emotional episode. I'll say, I didn't expect us to resurrect Clark this fast, to be honest. I thought that'd be like a mid-season or maybe even something we'd hold off toward some of the final 3 episodes, something like that. But I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But I'm going to leave it at that, guys. What do you think? How do you feel about all of this? Sound off the comments. Let me know your thoughts down below. We'll carry the conversation after the video. Hope you enjoyed the reaction. If you did, leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe if you're not already. Remember, if you want to see the full-length reaction, you check it out over on Patreon, or if you're a member of the channel, get you access as well. And speaking of before we go, I want to shout out our channel legends: Manny Sherritt, York Korskov, Robert Amaguiano, Jeffrey L, Jake Cottrell, Eric Official, Casey Wood, Russell Crockett, and Sam Oyer. Thank you guys so much for continued support. But that's it for this video, guys, and I'll see you all in the next one. Take care, everybody.